Welcome to Immigration Guide Australia, your trusted source for clear and up-to-date information on Australian immigration. In this channel, we compare different types of Australian visas and immigration pathways, helping you understand your options, requirements, and benefits so you can make informed decisions about your future in Australia. If you find this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to Immigration Guide Australia for more valuable immigration updates and comparisons. Listen carefully before why you apply. If you're planning to study in Australia in 2026, this video could save you years of delay, thousands of dollars, or even a visa rejection. Because the Australia study visa system you may have researched online is already outdated. Quietly, through 2024 and 2025, the Australian government has changed how it looks at international students. Not just paperwork changes, but mindset changes. Australia is no longer asking, "Do you want to study here?" It's asking, "Why should we allow you?" Financial requirements are higher, English rules are stricter, and students who look genuine on paper are still getting refused. Agents are still selling old dreams, but immigration is operating with new filters. So before you choose a course, transfer money, or book an English test, you need to understand how Australia Study Visa 2026 actually works. This is not fear. This is reality, and informed students survive policy changes. Why Australia changed student visa rules FOR 2026. To understand the 2026 study visa rules, you first need to understand why Australia changed them in the first place. Over the past few years, Australia experienced record migration numbers, extreme rental shortages, and increasing political pressure. International students became part of that conversation, fair or not. The government found that many students were enrolling in low-quality colleges, working excessive hours, and never genuinely studying. Some treated the student visa as a backdoor work permit. As a result, Australia decided to slow things down, raise standards, and focus on quality over quantity. This doesn't mean Australia doesn't want students. It means it wants the right students, those with clear academic goals, realistic finances, and genuine study intentions. The problem is that many genuine students are now being caught in the same net as non-genuine applicants. That's why understanding the policy mindset is just as important as meeting the requirements on paper. Australia Study Visa 2026. Genuine Student Requirement Explained. One of the biggest changes affecting 2026 applicants is the Genuine Student Requirement, which replaced the older GTE system. Earlier, students were trained to write emotional stories about temporary stay. That approach no longer works. Immigration officers now look for logic, consistency, and evidence. They assess whether your chosen course makes sense with your past education, your work history, and your future plans. If you studied commerce and suddenly apply for a cookery diploma, that raises questions. If you have long study gaps with no explanation, that raises questions. If your SOP sounds like it was copied, that raises questions. The genuine student rule is not about perfect English or dramatic motivation. It's about credibility. Immigration wants to see that studying in Australia is a reasonable step in your life, not an escape plan. Students who don't take this seriously are often refused without interview or warning. Study visa costs in 2026. What students must budget for realistically? Many students underestimate how expensive studying in Australia has become. And that's a dangerous mistake in 2026. Living cost requirements have increased significantly, and immigration now checks whether your funds are realistic, accessible, and sustainable. It's no longer enough to show money temporarily arranged for visa purposes. Officers look at bank history, income sources, and family capacity. Tuition fees have also risen across most universities and private institutions, especially in business, IT, and health-related courses. On top of that, visa application charges are higher, and overseas student health cover costs more for longer programs. If your budget barely meets the minimum requirement, your application becomes risky. Australia expects students to survive without financial stress, not depend entirely on part-time work. Planning finances early is no longer optional. It's part of proving that you are a genuine student. English language and academic rules. Students ignore their OW and risk. English language requirements in 2026 are stricter than many students realize. Minimum IELTS and PT scores have been raised for certain visa streams. and pathway courses are under closer scrutiny. Immigration is paying attention to repeated test attempts, sudden score jumps, and weak academic backgrounds masked by English scores. Universities also face pressure, meaning they are less flexible than before. If your English level barely qualifies, your visa still might not. Academic history matters more now. Poor past results, frequent course changes, or irrelevant qualifications raise concerns. Australia wants students who can actually handle academic life, not just pass visa checks. This shift catches many applicants off guard, especially those relying on agent promises. In 2026, English and academics are not just entry requirements. They are credibility signals. Work rights, course changes, and university risks. In 2026, many students still believe they can study in Australia primarily to work. That belief is risky in 2026. Work hour limits are strictly enforced again, and data sharing between employers and immigration has increased. Excessive work history can affect not just your current visa, but future applications. Course hopping, changing providers too quickly, or enrolling in institutions flagged as high risk also raises red flags. Some colleges have already lost their ability to sponsor international students. If your institution fails compliance checks, students suffer the consequences. Australia expects stability, commitment, and genuine academic focus. The era of casual switching and loopholes is closing fast. Students who treat their visa responsibly are safer than those chasing shortcuts. Final reality check for students planning Australia 2026. Australia is still one of the best study destinations in the world, but only for students who plan smartly. Studying in Australia no longer guarantees work visas or permanent residency. PR pathways are limited, competitive, and skill-focused. Choosing the wrong course can close doors permanently. The smartest students in 2026 are those who research deeply, prepare early, and apply honestly. If you understand the rules, align your goals, and respect the system, Australia is still achievable. If you rely on outdated advice, shortcuts, or false promises, the risk is higher than ever. The choice is yours, but now, at least, it's an informed one. Thank you for watching Immigration Guide Australia. We hope this comparison helped you better understand the Australian immigration options discussed in today's video. If you enjoyed the content or found it useful, please like the video, share it with others, and leave your questions or thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to Immigration Guide Australia and turn on notifications so you never miss our latest immigration guides and updates.